Ibrahim Traoré's biggest vulnerability was his family. His adversaries were well aware of this. His 14-year-old sister Aminata vanished one afternoon while walking back from her middle school in Ouagadougou. The surveillance systems had been compromised. The guards had been sedated. When he eventually tracked her down in the shadowy depths of Europe, he confronted not only human traffickers but also the machinery that preyed on his own nation. This time, the battle would be fought, not just in Burkina Faso but also in the heart of Paris, at exactly 3:30 p.m. that day. Everything seemed ordinary. Aminata Traoré, just 14, had departed from Imam Malik Middle School, situated in one of Ouagadougou's safest areas, under the relentless African heat. Her school bag hung from her shoulder, and she held onto a math book with a firm grip. "We've got a test tomorrow," she cheerfully told her friend Fatima. "My brother will help me study, like always." Her journey home was a routine 15-minute walk on familiar roads, surrounded by familiar faces, taking the same daily path. But that evening, Aminata never arrived. By 4:45 p.m., President Ibrahim Traoré's mother, Mariam, called with unsteady hands. "Aminata's not home yet," she said in distress. "She's always home by 4:30, and she's not picking up her phone." At that moment, Ibrahim Traoré was in a meeting with the defense minister. Hearing the fear in his mother's voice, his heart dropped. "Call mom. Initiate emergency protocol immediately," he said, leaving the meeting without hesitation. The operation to locate Aminata began at 6 p.m., uncovering chilling facts. The school's cameras went offline at 3:25 p.m. due to a reported technical issue. Every surveillance point along Aminata's usual route also failed simultaneously, said Security Chief Madu, holding up his tablet to show the missing footage. This was a coordinated attack. The system was hacked. "Where was the protection detail?" Traoré asked, cold fury in his voice. "Two guards were tailing her at a distance. We found them unconscious." This was done by professionals. In that instant, Traoré knew this wasn't a random kidnapping. There was a calculated political strike. Yet no one could have foreseen the full scale of Traoré's coming response. 3 days passed without a word, no demands, no public reports. A 14-year-old girl had seemingly disappeared without a trace. In the darkness of the fourth night, at 2:30 a.m., Traoré's private phone rang. "Blocked number of S," answered Traoré, his voice hoarse from sleeplessness. "Hello, Ibrahim," came a chilling voice in French. Traoré's entire body went rigid. "Who are you?" "Doesn't matter. What matters is keeping your sister alive. What do you want?" "Simple. Revoke the gold mine nationalization you ordered last month. Cancel the uranium deal with China. Stop playing revolutionary with Africa's natural wealth." Traoré's knuckles cracked with tension. "And if I don't, then your sister will enjoy great success in her New Amsterdam position. 14 years old. Highly marketable." The coldness of the voice made Traoré's blood run cold. "You have 72 hours. Think carefully." The call ended. "Share this with those you care about. Every parent deserves to hear this story. The world should know who these people are." Traoré placed the phone on the table, burying his face in his hands. For the first time, he felt powerless. But soon, the rage returned, burning sharp. "No," he whispered. "This time, I'm going after them." He didn't sleep that night. Instead, he summoned his core team for an urgent meeting. Security Chief Mamadou, Intelligence Chief Konate, and most crucially, Burkina Faso's 28-year-old cyber warfare prodigy, Sarah Kamar. "They believe my family is my weakness," Traoré said, his eyes red, yet resolute. "But they're mistaken. By targeting a child from my family, they've declared war on all the children of Africa, and that will be their greatest error." Sarah Kamar opened her laptop. She had studied at MIT and joined Traoré's team upon her return to Burkina Faso. "Sir," she began, "I analyzed that phone call." The voice was routed through 7 countries using the Tor network, but the actual origin was Switzerland. Still, the reference to Amsterdam was intentional. "They want us looking there, Switzerland," said Konate. "Banking hub. Money trails disappear. It gets worse," added Mamadou. "In the past 2 years, 73 girls from Burkina Faso vanished after receiving student visas, the average age 15. Traoré slammed his fist on the table. "This isn't just about Aminata anymore." What the perpetrators hadn't anticipated was that this operation would be only the beginning. On the 5th day, Traoré made an unexpected move. During a national TV address, he disregarded diplomatic norms. "My fellow citizens," he said, eyes locked onto the camera, "my 14-year-old sister Aminata has been missing for 5 days. I now know where she is." The international media was stunned. These matters were normally kept quiet. "The people who kidnapped Aminata did so to force me to abandon our path to economic independence. These are the powers trying to dominate Africa's natural resources," Traoré declared. His voice hardened. "But let them be warned. This attack wasn't just on my family, it was on every African child, and they will pay." His enemies had expected irrational anger, missions, military retaliation, reckless threats, but Traoré did the opposite. By making the situation public, he brought the truth to the global stage. Now, the kidnappers couldn't hide. The world was watching. A wave of support swept across Africa. The hashtag Save Aminata trended globally. What would you do if you were in his shoes? Social media posts asked. Meanwhile, Sarah Kamar and her cyber team worked tirelessly. They discovered that the Switzerland signal was a decoy. The true location was in Amsterdam's Wales district, a derelict building. Sir, Sarah said, pointing to satellite imagery. This structure is part of a larger network. The basement floors connect underground. We've detected over 40 to 50 individuals inside using thermal imaging. What's the security status? Professional, but we have an advantage. No one expects Burkina Faso to carry out an operation in Amsterdam. Traoré took a deep breath. We'll save not just my sister, but all the girls. That evening, Traoré made confidential calls. First to Ghana's President Akufo-Addo. Brother, said Traoré, you've had cases of missing children too, haven't you? What are you saying, Ibrahim? I'm organizing an operation in Amsterdam. This isn't just for Aminata, it's for all of Africa's children. Akufo-Addo paused. What do you need? 6 covert operators. From your special forces, you've got them. He had the same conversation with Mali's and Senegal's leaders. No one declined. The mission had outgrown national borders. It was now a continental cause. Within 48 hours, the truth would shock the world. The Amsterdam operation launched on the 6th night, not a dramatic Hollywood assault, but a meticulous intelligence effort. 18 elite soldiers from 4 African nations had quietly arrived in Amsterdam, disguised as tourists. Sarah's team had remotely disabled the building's surveillance system. The operation commenced at 3:02 a.m. Alpha Team, rear entrance secure. Bravo Team, side access clear. Charlie Team, primary target identified. Back in Ouagadougou, Traoré monitored everything via secure line. His heart pounded. Entering target location, silence. Alpha to command, first floor cleared. 12 girls secured. Bravo to command, basement located. 8 more girls. To found. Charlie to command, Aminata recovered. Alive. Traoré's tears fell. But it wasn't over. Command to all units. We've detained low-level staff and local syndicate members, but Sarah's data traces point to higher entities. At dawn, the world woke to news that changed everything. 47 girls were rescued in Amsterdam, 23 traffickers arrested, and the digital evidence gathered by Sarah exposed the hidden architects behind it all. At the airport, Traoré embraced Aminata, tears streaming. I was scared, big brother, Aminata whispered. But I knew you'd come. I'll never let you go again, Traoré promised. But this was more than a personal reunion, it was. Global cameras flashed. I didn't just rescue my sister, said Traoré, holding her hand. I rescued 47 daughters of Africa, and I've made sure the world knows that anyone who harms our children will be held accountable. He raised the documents collected during the mission. These files expose how the system works, who funds it, which banks launder the money, what networks offer protection. The revelations triggered a political storm across Europe. Human trafficking probes began in the Netherlands, France, and Belgium faced public outcry and internal resignations. But Traoré's true ambition went deeper. This wasn't just a rescue, he said at the African Union Summit. It was proof of how Africa is exploited. They target our children to steal our resources. From that summit emerged the African Child Protection Pact. 32 nations signed it. 3 months later, Aminata returned to school. She laughed again, but she was changed. No longer just a girl, she was a symbol. People call me the rescued girl, Aminata said in an interview. But I'm not just rescued, I'm protected, because my brother made all of Africa my family. 6 months later, the Aminata Foundation was established to locate missing children and combat trafficking. 54 African countries backed it. A year later, Traoré addressed the United Nations. We're building a world where those who endanger our children will face justice. Today, Aminata is 16. She studies mathematics, dreams of attending MIT, and carries a message of hope. Sometimes from the deepest darkness, the brightest change is born, by attacking what they thought was his weakness. Traoré's enemies had awakened his greatest power, a father's will to protect his child, and that strength reshaped an entire continent.